Hello, Eric Brown and Cosplay again here. Just wanted to show you guys, this was the monster clay version of the Tron identity disc holder. This started out as a really rough piece from a silicone mold that I made really quickly. It's a little thin on the bottom, it's actually probably too thin. But it started off as a silicone mold here. And you can see that this fits right in there. This was made from the packaging that came with the Tron identity disc. And so by doing that, and doing that unfortunately very quickly, I end up with what you can see are some rough spots and some bubbles. You know, from these are actually bumps around the disc that I missed during sanding, and also bubbles from the not so good molding process that I did. So it's not the silicone's problem, that's actually my problem. One thing I did try to do was put in little spacers in here so that you don't use as much silicone, because this stuff is not cheap. So that being said, you know, turning that rough mold into this was easy, just using the old standard heat gun. Melt the surface of it, use your carving tools, which are a whole bunch of these things. I was able to smooth out that rough shape into this really pretty smooth shape. Problem is, being a perfectionist, it still weirds me out that this is not fully and perfectly rounded. It's pretty hard to do. I'd have to do that by hand, and so being annoyed with that, I've 3D printed a piece. This is also hollow, so I can hide my electronics in the back. This is where I'm going to hide the inverter for the electroluminescent panels for Kevin Flynn. Kevin Flynn's kind of on version like 2.5 now. I haven't had to do anything material-wise, but I've had to do a lot electronically as well as for this disc. You'll also notice this has an edge, whereas the first one I did actually came down and then was immediately flat, so I could Velcro it to the inside of the jacket, so it poked through in my back. Well, this I'm actually going to glue a disc on the back, but this gives me the thickness I need to get through the fabric. That's where I messed up the first time, because when I did that, when I put the disc on, the fabric was sitting proud of this flat surface that the disc sits on. So because of that, I was never able to get the disc fully attached. Now that I've done this, I can take my disc and boom, that thing fits in there perfectly. Now this sits up just a teeny weeny bit. That's because of the magnets here on the bottom. These are neodymium magnets, just got them off Amazon. They're pretty powerful. I mean, watch how powerful they are. Wink, jumps right from my finger onto the thing. That's the power of neodymium. That stuff is extremely powerful. These started off, if I remember, in like little tiny speakers, things like your earbuds, where they need a lot of magnetic power in a very small space. So that's what neodymium magnets are. They're called rare earth magnets. They're some of the strongest magnets you can buy, and they do a lot of gripping in a small package. One thing that really does bug me so is maybe I'll redo this, but that's a later date and another whole project. But for right now, once I get this all polished up and painted, I've got some of the Smooth-On's XTC coming in, so I can epoxy coat this, because this is still rather thin and it's a little rough in places. I did raise the pattern up on the back of Flynn's disc, just so I could paint it easier and so I can make it perfect. The first one I did it as a stencil, and I was never really happy with how it turned out. So even if I go back to just a straight flat surface on this inner disc here, I should be able to just stencil it again, because this is now perfectly flat, which is gorgeous. And if you're wondering, that angle is 35 degrees. Measure that off of the disc by putting a piece of paper and boom, measuring it. I can show you that at another time, but there you go. There's Kevin Flynn's identity disc holder for the identity disc. Fits in there beautifully. Thanks for watching.